been a bit of a bumpy ride so far, but he did showcase a lot of cool builds and cool ways to play.
我们切过去吧，那边已经开始吹牛逼了。
OK。
B 频道是吧
？C
吗
？Are very well aware anything.
C 频道已经吹起来了啊。
The better player can lose sometimes. So I still truly believe in cyan, and I mean we're joking around a little bit, but he actually impressed me yesterday.
哎呀，
like
这种东西
played well, especially when things.
妈的，小孩不喝很正常。再说他小孩子有什么记忆吗？你妈的，你们天天在这里，妈你对你2、3岁的时候有记忆吗？不可能有记忆的呀！你幼儿园都没记忆，好吧？小学都没什么记忆。妈要小学4、5年级之后才有记忆。二中2、3岁有个毛记忆。黄哥，我坠机了，你发的啥呀？啊，
看一下。
祝黄旭东没有脖子的飞机，感谢兄弟，
感谢兄弟啊！因为我现在因为我用手机看的。
Yeah, and cyan has not joined the lobby yet, by the way, so we're waiting for the players to be ready. I guess we can talk a little bit about the results that happened so far, because there's some very exciting stuff going on.
我待会儿差不多让孙宁给我去炒个炒饭。
Which is confirmed.
什么
？No one can catch up to him anymore.
干嘛？11、12岁的小孩子炒饭怎么了？
他妈的，孙宁晚上帮你炒饭。
干嘛？
呵你妈！
And then it's Gumio versus Scarlet tomorrow for
11岁的小孩子炒个炒饭不是一件很正常的事情吗？
我靠，他妈太可怜了，孙宁。
And they will play against each other on the final day.
不
，so that's very exciting.
可怜的不是应该是我吗？他不管炒成什么样，我都会吃掉的，好吧？然后还要他妈硬着头皮说好吃，不然怎么以后妈的骗他继续给我炒饭？
感谢哼哼呵啊的一个飞机，感谢兄弟。
感谢兄弟啊！
我过一会儿再去看看我儿子烧降下来没？我操！哎呀！
吃了美林，睡一觉就降下来了。
那是呀。
啊，难受个3天，第4天就开始活蹦乱跳。你看他是在那边玩了，就说明他没事了。
他你妈今天也还在那里玩好吗？
Group B also is very open still with 3 players.
他你妈发着烧也在玩的呀，他你妈新冠烧到你妈39度还在玩，我靠！感谢求奶孙宁孝顺父母的一个飞机感兄弟。小孩子好的很快，他新冠1天就好了，就睡了一觉就好。妈，我已经烧的都快动不了了，他你妈玩的开心的一批在旁边。 小孩子其实这种没有我们反应那么大。没有我们反应那么大，你妈活蹦乱跳的。
And his opponent in the top left, the man who has made the biggest upset so far of the tournament, representing Mystery Gaming. It is
好了，鸡哥对 Dark。
EVT rank 27, it's 570 points. Beautiful purple sweater. God, what a gangster.
鸡哥这场比赛首先要做的就是防 Dark 这个狗逼花式一波。因为鸡哥像Dark打鸡哥这种级别的选手，他就喜欢一波，他他妈不想浪费时间。
Dark 绝对会一波的，我首先跟你们说。
You know, I was just. Because I was so happy about it. I was just going through the Wikipedia, seeing what matches we had tomorrow. I saw we had cyan twice. Oh my god, you know, because the first day I looked at the matches we had, and I saw on the second day I was like, oh, cyan twice in the second block, and I wasn't really looking forward to it. You know, I like cyan as a player, and he's a cool guy, but I wasn't super excited to see him play against
先斩马入，再斩岸本
against Maru for that matter. But then last night I was laying in bed, I was thinking to myself, man, Firefly's builds against Serral were good. I feel like, I don't know why, but I had this feeling that Firefly and Cyan, in my mind, are friends. And they speak to each other with strategies. And they have like a different approach to the game, but I value both of them as like smart Protoss players that know where their strengths and know where their weaknesses are. How in the world could Cyan do to take out Dark? And I was thinking, one of the things that Cyan actually could do to take out Dark is to...
Dark 用的是那个37。 就是37秒开2矿的开局，就他防击个 rush， 最稳的开局。
how a worse Protoss player can beat Dark is that Dark just likes to all in. So you are very
解说吹中国选手吹起来
and
了
then boom, that's when you have like
吹不
you
起来，这个
basically
这
peak
个
very
怎么
early
吹
with
起
your
来？
unit count. That's what I was thinking of. I think would be cool.
你
And now we see Cyan opening up with.
我在 TU 上面看了个
文
文章，你知道去年我们发了全球多少奖金
I think this
吗？
Nexus went down at 18. It's now gonna go for Saladin
我们
the
占
wall,
全球的
goes double gate.
16%。
He's gonna be having a great time here.
Yeah, this is against 15 hatch. So Dark
我
actually tried
们
to
我
play
们
super
去年
safe,
发了
trying
全
to
球接近16%的奖
forego, getting blocked, which wasn't the case at all here, obviously. And Dark Cyan actually going for
那还要
double
怎么
chrono
样
on adept as well.
唉，尽力了，
So
只
he's
能
gonna
说
try to put some pressure on in the meantime, while Dark went for 3 queens right away, which is theoretically very good against double chrono adept. So that's not
今年肯定
too
比
great
例
for
没有那
Cyan
么
here
高。
because
哎
all far games will
16
be forward.
他妈真的兄弟尽力了。
Hatch, plus the third queen already being out. That means that the 2 adapts shouldn't really be
有
that
很
much
妈，我们作为两个
for
主
adapts.
播
This is
发
definitely
16%，已经尽力了。
Like where you start with a lot of adapts and then maybe you throw it on the Twilight after.
对的，你要知道
Oh my
我们是两个
God,
主播兄弟，感
That
谢
is a
下个 IEG
ridiculous
的3个
call.
飞机，还有
Do you
聚
remember
宝
I
盆
used to，play
感谢
this
下个
build a
IEG。
lot? And you remember I once
他们
played
这个
it
是
into
包括了
IEM
石油杯，包括了那个什么，包括了 IEM 什么的。
Yeah, it was on this weird map, the same map that Tefol lost to MVP on.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. The tough loss.
16是多少啊？16我们发了多少钱啊？
No, but I think it was like a
发
remap.
了200万人民币吧，差不多。
Or the map looked alike. Maybe it wasn't the same map. I just remember
有吧？
playing you on
I
that
don't
map,
think it's
and I
the
was
same.
playing this
有
exact.
吗
I？was so happy
我也
with
不
it.
知道。
This is so sick.
战队赛
With Nexus first.
战队赛60加
对
天下第一人
And
30，
then you get 3
再
more
加
gates,
那个
2 more
功夫
gates,
杯
and then
11
boom, you，
那不
push
最多
again.
100了，一届。
Your initial
天下
push
第一
with
人
like
战
4 to 6
是
adapts,
30万一
then
届
your
还是
next
3？
push with like
30万一届啊
7 adapts and glaives, and then
那不是
you
2
get
届吗？那
immortal,
2届就发了200啊，200多一点。
and with like new waves
还有
of
平时
units.
什么
对啊
什么草率杯啊，这些有的没的，
Except, you know, the Protoss is the AI.
200多
这个还不算
200多万
这。个还
It
这
feels freaking strong.
这个还不算制
Dark
作
here, by
费
the
用
way, with double gas already, has lost 5
对
workers.
就我就说
6
纯奖
workers
金发了
total,
200万嘛。
and has killed 4 adapts. Who's this good for?
I would say usually for Dark. However, this was a good start to an opener for Cyan.
发不动了，
It's a
发不
super
动了，
confusing
兄弟
build.
这。
If you're Dark and you see there's already a third base, and the other guy just sacked his adepts, if he didn't get the Overlord Scout, I would have never guessed that this was if Glaives would have War Prism.
Yeah,
草率杯是阿亏出的钱，哎呀，那也是啊，阿亏出的钱。然后我帮阿亏先把钱垫了，发掉了，
Yeah, I think
发完了我老婆去报的账，然后我就再也没看到这个钱了。
for who? Cyan or Dark?
For Dark, I think this
So-
is very that to a Roach Revolution.
Really? With 4 gates?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
老子就再也没看到这个钱了，我靠了！
And if you don't lose the adepts here aggressively, and you start an immortal after the ops, there's a battery already. I don't feel that bad about it, but I haven't.
感谢言而无信孙一峰的一个幸运签，感谢兄弟。
Quite like this in
感谢
a
兄弟
very
啊！
very long time. So I'm not
反正这个东
entirely
西
sure
尽
about
力
the
而为吧。
specifics
今年
here.
今年应该没有去年那么好。
We're not gonna have
我
to
觉
see
得
it because Dark is droning up. It's gonna get a lair as well. So I'd be surprised if he
你要
still
看
commits
但
to a roach all in, right? That'd be kind of odd.
It would be very odd. I mean, the lair.
发给我老婆了，你说的没错。
Yeah. But he drawn too far to all in.
你老
It
婆
is
跟你不都是
Dark
一家
Dawn
人吗？
really
你妈的
doesn't really
钱
play
在
that
谁手
good,
上
so
不是在？
if he wants to all in, he can still all in.
老子妈经常这
Dark
种莫名其妙的
Cyan actually not
就他
taking-
妈
not
的
taking
就
a
没
forward
了
gas。as well, so I think that Cyan is actually
感
one of the
谢
best if
盖
you
世双鞋永不更新的一个飞机，感谢
how
兄弟
that,。
妈，有时候阿亏身上没
Cyan
有现金，
likes
也经常会
to
找
rather
我，
overproduce units than underproduce.
什么让我打点钱给他
Oh,。drones are being taken out. That's
打完
6
了
workers
我就
going
打
down,
了。
practically
妈，关键
instantly.
阿亏每次打也打
Drop
很
there.
多，你知道吗？
Overlord lacking out of Dark. That is just
打完了，然后他说让你老婆来
There's
报
no，reason for there not
我说
to be
我
an
知道了
overlord.
我老婆就
And
去
every
报，
reason
报
for
完
there
了
to
我就
be
再也
an
看不到
overlord.
了。
You know there's gonna be a prism out. That's the second immortal that just popped, by the
你
way.
换个
And all
换个
those
思
worker
路
kills,
想，
they are going to force
换个
Dark to
直
get
接
a couple
格
more
局
drones
打开，
out.
这
Dark
这个
hasn't
就叫
started a
变
forward
相
base
存
yet.
钱。
As we now see the Evo chamber going down, Dark probably wants to drone up.
好了，
对吧
这边飘了2波之后啊，我们看这边鸡哥是飘完之后直接转不朽了，
66 drones,
不扯了，妈拉个鸡，
I'm
越说
afraid
越惨。
he can.
直接鸡哥今天准备的战术就是使徒飘完之后接3不朽一
He's
波
now，taking up and getting extra gateways.
然后
这
再接
波过去如果是狗蟑螂不够的话，其实挡不住的。
So he won't exactly have the optimal.
鸡哥
unit.
飘
He had
使
an
徒
optimal unit
打个
gateways,
简单一点的
so
7分钟一拳，
感谢3比1的聚宝盆，感谢兄弟。
gateway
但这一
counts
拳大可的蟑螂
so
够
instead
的
he's just，
鸡哥打
pressuring,
双
he's
线
shooting in. he doesn't know what we knew. Yeah, he doesn't know. You don't have that much vision on the adapt shade, so if he had finished that one, there could have been some serious.
大可最牛逼的就是在这种局面，他有很多火蟑螂，这个火蟑螂。
What he's doing now.
要加火蟑螂
呀，直接，但这样的话他不朽全打在女王上面了呀。鸡哥的兵够吗？感觉还可以啊，
我感觉还不错，感觉还不错。
冷静在后面，哎，冷静掉了，哎呀，冷静掉了，要冷静刷出来就牛逼了，冷静掉了，7个农民，可惜了，可惜了，可惜了，冷静掉了。 战术其实准备的还可以，但鸡哥淤了好多钱呐，淤了太多钱了，这波淤了1000多的钱，完了，这波反扑他挡不住，他要是能进不掉，真有机会。
对，人家不叫有机会，而且他还有个问题，就是飘了之后没有东西去保护这个不朽。
对他这个不朽，其实他就在正面一直刷就好了。达克的兵没有他想的那么多那么多。继续守啊，继续守，强行守。1个、2个、3个电池，但是这个蟑螂是不是太多了，有点守不住。鸡哥的角速是没有的，他只有闪追，所以他只能刷闪追。现在达克的兵太多了，有点挡不住了。 完了，没有人进 GG 了，没有人进挡不住了。大可不会给他任何机会，没有人进。
大可只要有机会一波干死你，绝对不会第二波干死你的。他跟你妈的陈江哥就2个极端，好吧？
继续耗，鸡哥继续耗，耗的还行，这2波说实话。
哎，中火了，中火了，中火了，完了！
哎，他这里出不去，主要被大可摁在这里，摁在这里一直搞，而且大可农民也不补了，就一波。鸡哥跳出去是对的，跳出去是对的。 先把火蟑螂点了，跳出去是对的，然后刷点兵，能不能熬出第2个核电站，这个是关键。但是还有4个火蟑螂，就算第2个核电站出来，可能也挡不住。
不朽
没了，第2个核电站有吗？
有的话也没什么
用了，没用了，站不住了，站不住了。 第2个核电站他不会让你起来，这边关键这个火蟑螂在这里放。大可的一个农民都不补了，真的大可是就直接冲到底。核电站好了，但是没有用，马上就要被秒掉。
2个极端跟你说了呀，这个
没了，可惜了，真的打得挺好的，我觉得这波准备的，可惜了。
He wanted to balance out his gas income, but he could have worked in the depths. Those are at least good against a couple of Zerglings that are here.
Yeah, and they
战术呢是打出来了，今天也准备过了。
Yeah,
this just wasn't ideal.
准备的还行，这个战术执行力前面执行的还好。
This was super close though. This really was. There were multiple moments here
可
where
惜
it
了，
felt like if Cyan would have
这把已经没了。
X or Y a tiny bit better, could have had the W. I like
还
what he
行打的。
played. He definitely has something prepared. And this is the type of build that you're gonna play once. I don't think you can actually repeat this particular one because it is very confusing for the Zerg. But the second time you're gonna be a bit less confused. So I'm curious to see what
可惜了，那没关系嘛，接下来再打呗。
That is going to be an interesting one.
我的钱哪里来
Dark
的？
so far though with a clean win, clean victory. Has only dropped the map.
我的钱平时做活动什么的呀，这种攒的。
single map. I think most difficult opponents for him still coming though.
就外面接活啊什么的，有时候他们打钱打谁那里就打我这里，就攒出来的呀。
It's not exactly an easy group, so
yeah.
钱肯定都攒出来的呀，我
impressive
靠。
from him so far. But that game was super winnable for Cyan. Like I
攒出来的。
鸡哥是要连续打2场，跟大家说一下，
a single
连
thing
续打
better.
2
Either
场。
shade the 4 adepts in there, even if he keeps the War Prism alive and loads up the 2 immortals. I think he holds that easily.
Yeah.
And then we see a macro game where Dark is down in workers because he can't kill him there. What actually is the most likely outcome is that Dark attacks anyways because he thinks, okay, he killed my drones, but I killed all of his units, so let's go, let's get going. And then Cyan defends it, and he's extremely far ahead. So
私房钱，这
a little bit sad there about the execution.
Yeah,
part.
me too. But you know, maybe he's still just warming up. This was a throwaway build anyway.
Throwaway
build.
just
Cheeky throwaway build. You just want to get out of the system. You know, you sometimes have that.
孙宁是一个
he
很
actually
能存
just
私房
tested.
钱的
He thought of something before.
感谢韩西州诸事不顺的一个飞机，感谢兄弟。
For Oceanborn, really not feeling it on that map anyways.
Exactly. This map is
他很能准吃饭
practically unwinnable. Let me
他
just
跟
try
我
this
谈
crap.
判。
And I mean, I appreciate that. It was actually a cool build though. I wonder.
他收到的所有压岁
阿
钱，
亏 V 我2000用，
Just play Nexus
你妈的
every single time.
我儿子跟我谈判，收到的所有压岁钱，
啊，
Do you really think so?
对吧
I think？he's
他
gonna block
说
once and then
我
go
我
no
不要
scouting.
了，
But if this is
啊
a 3-game
但是
series,
呢，
I could see him just no scouting again.
能不
I
能
really
按照
don't think
10%的打
I see that.
10%的比例
which is
打
easy
到
to say,
我的
because
这
now
个
he makes it drone, but
手表上？
The one thing that Dark could do is like a proxy hatch because he likes proxy.
有
hatch
什么
also
说法
against
呢？
Players that he considers inferior.
就是说他也知道这个压岁钱他也拿不到，
Dark
对不对？
considers most
啊
players to be.
他就想要10%就算了，是
I,
吧
don't,？I think it's not the case
对啊。
anymore. He doesn't do that stuff.
感谢老仙奶事业不成功的一个飞机感
They
兄
were
弟
I saw him do it
also
last
like
week.
12.
因为他
I can't
跟我们说，我
Yeah,
们就
but
跟他
now
说
in the EPT,
那你
it's not
上
the same.
学对不对？
Sometimes when he
平常出
plays
去玩什么
the
都要
EPT
钱的呀，
weeklies,
要
he
以后
also
跟他
just
们自己
literally
说。
pull first roaches every single game against Darren. And I know that he doesn't think that that's a
人
good
打
idea,
错了，
but he
打
doesn't
错
do
了
that
他们那
because
个
he thinks his opponent
感
is
谢裘老，现在我
So
不
yeah,
能
signs
主板
going
敲
for
钟的飞机
blocking
还裘老，
into
现在我
exactly
不
what
得
I
不到
thought.
好工作的
You
飞机
no
感谢兄
scout
弟，
game 1, then you go block game
感
2,
谢兄弟
10%还可以啊。
This is my prediction.
可以的呀。
你儿子一年能收多少钱嘛？就压岁钱？
So he's gonna pop his probe over there towards the third, make sure that there's a hatch there, and then just
其实
goes
也
home.
其实我想想看，他
Doesn't
能收多
believe
少
in
钱？
harassing.
几千块钱收得到
他
吗？
像现在
He actually
1万
makes,
现在1万多一点吧。
Nexus and goes back to
我靠，他压岁钱能收1万块
block.
钱！
Watch this. I think he makes a Nexus
对啊。
cybercore and he goes back
感
to
谢裘奶
This is
ZXD
all here.
申请博士不成
And then
功
he
的一个飞
saves
机感谢兄弟，
mineral. He saves minerals by not sending down.
他妈的
the bunker
能收那么多钱？
The Zerg
明
also
天
saves
明
minerals.
天早上起来，对不对？再拍个视频给貔貅叔叔拜年，再收一波。
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I doubt him. I can't recall the last time I took a map of Maru. This guy destroyed him yesterday. Time to sit down.
感谢裘奶
You're right.
LY
This is, this
神
is
考不上岸的一个
this
飞
is
机
very
感谢
fair.
兄弟。
And he also
感谢兄弟。
mined 5
哎，
minerals.
可惜
between
我儿
the
子生
Nexus
病
and
了
the core.
拍
So
不
when he
了了。
returns, that actually is a genius. This is a genius move. He actually is much smarter than the
大
average
头就
probe
是
player.
就我老婆的
Not
父母
sure，
然
how
后
high
我
that's
的
putting
父
the
母，
bar, but
对吧？
we have
就
哦，这种
就给了他
都
们
算的是吧？
finishing up for Dark.
那你不然你说外面的
If
外面
Dark
没有
can
多
do
少在
something
外面
special
那对呀，我
on
就
this
说，
map,
我还想你外面
in
能
this
收
setup,
1万块钱，
what
那
would
有点
you do?
多了。
Something fun, something interesting.
那
No,
家
but
里面给，
he
那不就
does
等
reactive
于
all-ins.
等于没给
Like
吗？
he does random Ling Bane all-ins. He does
那你要这么说
random
也是啊
Queen drop all-ins.
那家里面给就
He
等于
will
没
see
给。
something and then
因为
he
他
does
给了
it
孙宁
just
之后，
like
我还要
he
我还要
will
返
see
返
something
给
and
返
then
给
he
他们
supply
的。
block
对呀
and
对呀，
he
这
just
这个
minus
就
all
等
of
于
it.
没给
This。is usually how Dark's games go. He is not the cleanest macro in the early game, and then he decides depending on what.
但他妈的他从中收了10%呀！你要这么想，他是不是赚了嘛？
啊，是。
Look at how intelligent Cyan is here. Sends the adapt back home to let the shade finish. It's small things like
直
this.
接
Stats didn't
VS
do it earlier today and cost him.
Yeah, it costs him big time actually.
Yeah.
There's
don't
no
wanna shoot-
downside at doing this.
Sorry?
Whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no downside. Yeah.
我给多少？
One
我
of
不
the
给
things
啊
I！
我
actually
儿子我
prefer
给他
is
搞毛
moving
啊
out！with
怕
the
你妈的
to
知道
one
钱是
side
什么
父母一般都不
where
给
the links might be.
对
And then
他父母
shading
一
the
般都
other
不给。
side, so then
我妈
the
我儿子才2
Another
岁，
day
你妈的
they
你给他
absolutely
钱，
don't
他
know where
他都
they
不
are,
知道
and
是
they're
什么，
going
好
to
吧？
to the other side with the links as well. So if you go hunting for links, that's also good. Cyan actually finished that adept shade, killed one link, got a lot of hull damage though. Second adept now shows up. There's not enough drones here. Or sorry, not enough drones, not enough links here. At the same time though, Ling run by taking out 3 probes on the other side of the map. Dark
声音
with
很
some
小，
stellar
是吗？
control there on those links. Is gonna get a 4th one. Yep, gonna get a 4th probe. And that is not a very
我
good
不给
move for
孙宁的
Cyan.
呀，孙宁突然间我都不给的呀。
Yeah, that is a big. I mean, that's a big error.
然后到云南的话嘛，他那些
Yes, as a
就
Zerg
那些
player,
亲
don't
戚
really
什
like
么的
this
嘛，
fight,
估
it's
计
just close control
一个人
for
发
everyone,
个
so this is-
200-300，差
You
不
don't
多
have，any at all,
Ah.
which you also didn't have.
差不多
So
的
you
呀。
lose
差不多
damage as
差不多
well, and
差不
most of the time you don't get anything done on the other side of the map, but in this case it was the exact opposite.
鸡哥这把
Because he lost too much HP early on.
先知正常开啊，但是他这么开，大可肯定是往死里打的。
Defends perfectly at home. Now also kills the 2 adapts on the other side, and this is
大可又爆了12条狗，连矿都不给你
I
开。
do have a question for you, Lambo. Do you think all the damage that Dark dealt here in
王一博生病，
undone by the
生病了，你妈的还录，你妈的找貔貅叔叔录视频，你妈他生病了，录个
still has an
屁！
impact on the game?
好好休息吧，在家。
I mean, I wanna be sarcastic here, but I will not do it just in case someone will.
感谢裘老鲜奶 XMH 神考不上岸的一个飞机。 感谢兄弟。
minerals that he saved.
这个先知，这两个先知基本上废了呀，感谢兄弟啊。
Just yeah, he's always got to make this type of stuff clear. Because people might look at it and think to themselves, "Oh, earlier they did go home with the probe, saved about 15 minerals. Now losing 4 probes, sure, that's 200 minerals, a bit of mining time, not ideal perhaps, but how big of a deal is it really?" Dark, I think had a bit of a supply block, or at least
Dark 还是义工狗。
Lords at once. That's gonna make life a little bit better there for Cyan. Actually, quite a bit better there for Cyan. Fortune Twilight on the way as well behind it. How many oracles do we have? We have 3.
感觉鸡哥很配合的用blink开局啊。
Dark just macroed poorly.
感谢邱老仙奶 WY 事业不顺的一个飞机，感谢兄弟。
感谢兄弟。
Feedback from Zerg being supply blocked like that, but that was a huge supply block. It was a missed macro, and all of a sudden he's back in it. Basically, all of the good moves that he made so far.
这个 blink 科技点下去，基本上鸡哥就没了。
Slightly good position, but it's not
完了。
good for him anymore, which it was before his macro.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little disappointed here by Cyan, because he scouted the Evo chamber with his oracles, had Forge plus Twilight. I'd say, why don't we get Charge and +1 here rather than Blink? It feels like any type of Blink attack is going to be so late anyway. You're going to be playing against a very heavy Link style. There's a lot of Links out already. You know that's going to be +1 melee as well. I feel like this is... I'm not a huge fan.
而且鸡哥现在这个局面没有
打得很朴实的那种，
没有任何的骚扰空间。这3个先知基本上没有打到任何的东西啊。
Yeah, it's difficult to transition into Colossus from Charge lots.
也行吧，但女王已经过来了，不知道能不能出得掉。
So yeah, he's going Blink. I think if he was going Colossus, he should really start his gases at his third base. He's trying to deny the hatchery. He should even be able to take that fight.
他的换个角度直接戳女王算了呀！我靠，女王又没加血的，他没有均坦的啊，戳掉基地还行还行。
Nice move.
Nice move, especially against a very Ling heavy.
但现在鸡哥最大的问题是这个科技被磕得很惨。一公狗根本就不怕你，完了，这波部队全部被包，布林克还没好。
The moment Dark realizes, okay, the Oracles are on the map, he sees if he can do something with the Zerglings, and he just hit the absolute jackpot.
他主要先知没有护着这波追猎。
完了，
把吉哥打大可本身也没有人会觉得有机会。
Yeah, it's not. This is not an acceptable loss.
Yeah, it really isn't. As yeah, 3 hatches going down as Dark is triple expanding right now. Second Evo chamber on the way, as you mentioned, as well as a hive and bailing nest. Dark is just gonna tech into ultras here. And it feels like the first ultras are gonna pop at around the same time as the first Colossus will. Although I'm not even entirely sure Cyan's gonna survive until that point. He just has such a these links there are loads of them. Energy on oracles is surprisingly low as well. Like, this is actually very scary for 2 reasons here for Cyan. He can't move his oracles across the map, because if he does, then the links will just go in.
我不知道这个局面鸡哥要怎么赢。
鸡哥家里面守啊，那没什么办法，就守着打呗。那怎么办呢？
你守着打，待会儿牛就来了。
前期已经吃了那么多亏了，追猎出去走走，等巨象，然后巨象出来打一波。 但这个 timing 点上来看的话，巨象是这个怎么说呢？出来飞蛇也出来了。鸡哥今天的重要的比赛就打休泰姆这场，他肯定应该也是选择性的在准备比赛。大可这场就不未必会去准备。
It's a very open map. It's probably one of the better ultra maps out there. So, I mean, the thing is, he will scout now with the oracles. The moment he sees there's a gas missing and there's a hive, it's then he would have all the gas. Why is the hive done? It's for early ultras. So by quick thinking, he can already tell for sure that it is ultras. Just he's blinking into the Zerglings around from Dark and he's recalling a lot of stock.
感谢裘老先来，我家庭不和睦的一个飞机，感谢兄弟。
Supply lead, which is not supposed to be the case actually in this matchup. If you're attacking up as a Zerg, you're not supposed to just be up 50 supply while you're going into Hive as well. He's starting 2 Vipers. I'm fairly certain that this is because he's smelling some blood here. Because otherwise he would have just made the...
我已经听不到你说话了，广州。我也听不到声音了，我外面都有放炮仗的声音。
这你妈！
I absolutely agree with him. I think it's a fantastic...
我完全听不到，我什么都听不到现在。
你那个你不关，你把窗关了没用吗？
没用。
Colossus actually suck at this point so hard. Once the first ultras hit, even without ultras. Do we have thermal lens yet? Okay, we do have thermal. That is something at least. We only have a single Colossus. They're gonna be good against the Lynx, but that's all these Colossus are gonna be good against. There's no Baneling speed, and that actually is helping Cyan quite a bit because if there were like 20.
上海应该很安静，因为上海应该不会放炮仗。
对，就不能放。
is actually doing a lot of work. Cyan believes he can push out on the map. He is.
感谢球老现在王瑞求职不顺的一个飞机，感谢兄弟。
感谢兄弟啊！
孙哥不在杭州，孙哥在那个，孙哥在云南。大可你妈的！一会儿牛过来，鸡哥就没什么办法了。
阿兰成立 HF 失败的飞机，
感谢兄弟啊！
on the proto side of things, and currently it's extremely low on the proto side of things because there's 0 immortals out. First one starting just now, and
这个牛怎么办？牛怎么处理？你出不朽，他在我铺天盖地的牛狗毒爆。
Yeah, Cyan is now making all the right moves because he realizes what position he's in. Before, he was basically playing an all-in unit composition. He wanted to push with Stalker Colossus, which is obviously impossible after the early game that he's had. He split the Zealots nicely, so he's trading well with it. For now, the name of the game for him is let's buy time, let's get a big immortal Archon army. That's what he needs to do. He can move out a little bit with the Stalkers because there's no infestors yet, but he needs to...
感谢球奶取不到眼镜美少女的飞机，感谢兄弟。
感谢兄弟。
感谢圣地科的飞机。哎呀，马上要过年了，兄弟们！我靠，你妈的！好了的，妈的，这个念不过来了已经。过年了，我们也来给大家抽奖啊！
抽奖
！666鱼翅，10个。
抽到的兄弟，待会儿记得把这个自己的这个资料填一下，兄弟们。感谢圣地科的火箭，感谢
还是粉丝团抽啊，还是粉丝团抽？
看不过来了，对，粉丝团抽。你设置好啊，
我设置好了。
别再搞笑了，
不可能！感谢韩系周中是不顺的飞机，还有球奶我家一贫如洗的飞机，还有球奶 MYQ 心想事不成的飞机，感谢兄弟，
感谢兄弟们。哎呀，狗溜进去了！我靠，我他妈外面已经这个炮仗已经是招不住了。
谢谢球奶，我年薪没有80万的一个飞机，还有求老仙奶我工作不顺的飞机，还有求老仙奶我双目失明的飞机，这你妈！感谢兄弟，
双目失明，感谢兄弟啊！
来了啊！
抽了吗？
来了。还有球奶2012个欧冠军的飞机，还有球奶事业不顺发不了财，还有球奶无水处理不能达标的飞机。
A lot more workers go down. He's now back down to below 40 workers. And Dark is just relentless with his aggression. Now also hitting at the front. Where Cyan oversplit his units. This is not a great fight for Dark. You would think.
鸡哥还在坚持啊，但是说实话，开局那几波被包掉，就基本上没什么机会了。感谢球奶，我找不到心仪老婆的飞机。
Severely outmining Cyan, and who's just ready to go again.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Once more, Vipers running in forward. Abduct.
感谢球老现在我神考不上岸，还有今年遇不到贵人的飞机，感谢兄弟。
Going down, another Baneling run by, trying to get in towards the naturals. Not going to connect with anything except buildings and half a Stalker. But honestly, it's just going to be good enough here for Dark. Dark is up about 70 supply.
在这也祝大家各位兄弟新年快乐啊！
这场打完就鸡哥要上主舞台了是吧？
对。
不对，是鸡哥不用上主舞台，是夜蝶上主舞台。
鸡哥还要打一场呀？
对，鸡哥还要打一场。鸡哥打休泰姆在不知道在哪个舞台。还是这个2-0，还是在 C 舞台，是这个 Lambo 和哈斯蒂姆解说，还是这个舞台。
他应该是鸡哥
感谢
打完
蟹黄豆腐的飞机，还求乃我考研落榜的飞机，感谢兄弟，
感谢兄弟们，感谢兄弟们，别发了，别发了，别发了，别发了。
还有山口组 F91的飞机，感谢兄弟，差不多了，差不多了，别发了，大家开心一下就好。
别发了，别发了。
开心一下，开心一下。过年了。
再说中奖的兄弟，记得把自己的这个资料
还没有抽出来呢，你慌个毛！
我先跟他们
还有3分钟。
If Rainer loses that series 0-2, Rainer I think is just out. Right?
Yes.
1-6, 0-3. That would be an absolutely massive upset.
It would be, yeah. I mean, he played 3 top players so far. I think the biggest upset would be him losing to Showtime, which even is not.
还有求乃我取不到 NYS 的飞机，求乃 ZPF 追不到 GFF， 还有求乃我一剑不过，还有求乃兄弟们穷苦一生的飞机，感谢兄弟。
也只有你了，我完全看不到，太多了。
感谢求乃 SJH 新年依旧单身的飞机。
兄弟们别送了，别送了，别送了，真的别送了。
Cyan 呢？
可以了，感谢兄弟们，真的别送了。
Even in the series that he loses, I like.
接下来就鸡哥很重要的一场了，他要想出现这场必须要拿下啊！感谢求乃 SJH 依旧单身的一个飞机，还有348兄弟霉运缠身的飞机，火箭，还有求乃公务员考试不过的飞机。
感谢兄弟们，感谢兄弟们，真别送了，真别送了。
He plays very close to how I imagine one.
看比赛了，看比赛。
In my mind, it's correct, but maybe Hero looks at it like, oh, not aggressive enough, or oh, he doesn't do enough of X or Y. But I feel like that a lot of the thinking behind the moves, it really resonates with me.
鸡哥这场输了，基本上
的飞机，感谢兄弟。
感谢兄弟啊！这场输了，基本上他跟这个就是这次卡托维兹的出现也没有任何关系。
对。
就打陈强哥这场输了就没有任何。
打陈强哥很重要 ，PVP 也不是说一点机会都没有。
方哥，其实赢了也没有，也没啥机会。说实话。
哎，你别管嘛，他妈雷诺现在0-2，说不定破罐子破摔呢。感谢工具栏流星火焰破梦前行者破梦者前行，还有阴阳兔嘴很大的飞机，还有求老仙奶前战绩天天5胜的火箭，感谢兄弟，
感谢兄弟们，前战绩。告诉你个好消息，黄哥，
你讲。
主舞台小黑肉1-0雷诺，这是
对呀，我就跟你说，雷诺他妈的说不定崩了，直接。
这你妈真的好。